Everything you see here is strictly informational. Forex is a high-risk business. Please do not place trades with more money than what you don't have. Please do not trade other people's money. Do not borrow any money than what you cannot trade with. And please take everything that I say as a personal opinion. I am not considered a financial advisor. I'm not considered a broker. I am just one here simply recording my journey along learning the markets.
What's up, everybody? Midweek. Hope everybody's trading is going as well. I have personally just been focusing on EURUSD. Just because I needed something to focus on and just laser live focus on, and that's what I've been focusing on. So I kind of wanted to give you an update on well, what I've been doing as far as that has been concerned, and you know, how that's been going and what I think is about to happen. So give me 1 second, let me get it pulled up here. Let me see here if I can't get this thing going. I should usually always have this thing just like ready and, you know, raring to go, but I never do. I don't know why. It just always seems to escape my mind. But anyway, here we go. Anyways, I've been in this trade pretty much all day, and if I would have, you know, I'd been learning, and if I had learned what I just learned earlier, I probably wouldn't have got in as early as I did, because I thought I was going to short, so I shorted it early London session, as you can see. And first time I shorted it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I fell asleep on my couch, and I woke up and saw it going up, and I was like, oh, it's going to short, so I shorted it there. And then I woke up, and what I did is I got fibs on all over the place on this thing, so I'm just going to get rid of all the fibs because they don't mean anything right now. Well, I can show you what the fibs mean, I guess. Here, let's just go ahead and go to 4 hour. And if you haven't seen my videos, I guess this will be a recap of what I've done. And let's go to the daily weekly template. So as you can see, the smart money or the institutions have been shorting the EURUSD. See with this red line here, that's the commercial banks with their net positions. They went from long to short right here. So my guess is that they stacked all their shorts right here, right? And they have been, for some reason, continued shorting it throughout, or at least not continue shorting it, adding more shorts than they have long. So they're net short. Sure, they've added longs in here, you know, to make some money, but for them to actually continue to net short means that they have to at least get to a level to make profit. So my first thing is I drew a fib. From the very top of the chart, right? So, which is where their shorts were actually the highest, as you can see right here. The shorts were the highest, so I draw a fib from here all the way over to here, to where the commercials start to short. And I don't know if that's close enough. I'm gonna try to get it a little bit closer. There we go. So for me to think that the commercials are actually going to start making money, they're actually going to have to get it to a level that's going to be beyond this, you know, this regular 100%, you know, level. So I figured, you know, the next you know, the next extension would probably be the best. So the next two extensions I have are the 27%, or the 127, 162, whatever you want to call it. So those are the levels I think that they are going to go for profit. I have order blocks here, and this probably needs to be over here. But now that I have that drawn, and we have last couple weeks seen this huge sell-off, right, of the euro. Happened 2 weeks ago. I think it was right here. So it was goes from the 18th through the 20th. We see this huge massive sell-off, right? So you have this big up candle right here, right, and then it just massively sells off. So the thing is that this is what I am possibly afraid of, but maybe not. We will see. Maybe it'll do something different. And now we're getting back to where my original idea is now that we've been starting to move back up, and the reason I've been shorting it is because the commercial banks have been shorting it, and it's because it's been going up. I actually did catch this huge move down, and I sold at the very bottom. I think it was a good 40 pip move, that's what I got out of it. Just because I knew it would probably retrace, so I sold. I didn't want to stay in and hang in there. But now that I'm looking at this, we do, if we want to break it even down to, I want to say the hour anyway. Break it down to the hour. We have an order block right here, right? So that last move up before this massive move down. So that is where I think a lot of the shorts came into play, right? So you had this massive move down again, just as we saw earlier. So it retraced back up. Like I said, I shorted a little bit too early. What I wanted to catch was this breaker. I shorted during, I don't know why I shorted during the London session. That was just dumb, to be honest. I think I was looking at this right here, thinking this was going to be a breaker. And I wanted to get a little bit early for that, and I thought maybe it would just stay below that. Wasn't thinking, but then again, as I learn more and more, I keep learning more and more. Here's another breaker that I thought we would stay below. And for the most part, we've actually kind of been even with this breaker. So you can see I do have two positions along this breaker. But one thing I wasn't taking into consideration was the order block. So now what I want to do is I want to draw a fib from the top of here, right? Because that's where the explosive move happened, all the way down to the bottom. Right, and so I wanted to get, if I was to get in anywhere, I'd like to get in anywhere between this 70.5 and this 78.5 or 79. Sometimes I have it. Just because that's usually about the deepest retracement that you'll have. If it goes, what I've learned is if it goes any farther than this 79% retracement, is that you're going to see a little bit more of an explosive move out. So what I'm thinking is that they did have this order block here, right? So now it's retraced back up into this order block. They're getting more short orders, right? And but the thing is that it's moved out of the order block. I was thinking it was going to start moving up toward, continue moving up in the order block. That way it would continuously, get orders before it goes down. But it's kind of moved down toward the bottom, which has made me think two things. And let's see if these are going to come true. And I'm going to delete these just because I can re-add them later. But those are my three positions that I have. Number one, we have equal lows, right? We have equal lows right here, and they're right along that 50% line, right? So what this tells me is that we have sell-side liquidity. So tells me these are my two predictions, and hopefully I'm on the right side of the prediction. My prediction is that during London Open, which could be happening in just a couple hours, it is now 9:31 Central Standard Time. What I think could possibly, what I hope will happen. Let's see if I can have this. Where's the drawing tool? Or I know there's a thing that says like, not Ray. Geez, I have so many stupid things in here nowadays. I can't even find what I want. Path. There we go. What I'm thinking is going to happen is it's probably going to come back up here, right? And it's probably going to come back up into this this order block, which is why I have my stop losses set pretty high, higher than I normally would, just because I entered a lot shorter than I normally would. But hey, if I lose a lot of money on this, it's my fault. But what I think is going to happen, I think it's probably going to come up here, right? I think it's laying low down here, making people wanting to buy, all right? So that way they buy, they see it come up here, and then it's going to stop just short of here, right? And then it's going to turn around and then go the opposite direction. That is what I think is going to happen, because we are going to be in this order. They're going to get back up into this order block area to where they want to go short. Right, so they're hiding down here. Plus, they have this sell side liquidity. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have their buy orders right here, right? So as soon as it trades down to this level, they're going to have their buy orders. Where they're going to have their buy stops or their stop losses, probably just below here. And I'm on a 1 hour chart, probably just below here. That looks like a good maybe 20-30 pip move or something like that. Probably even less than that, to be honest. Oh God, I hate this thing sometimes. Get back into here. Let's just say they did a 30 pip move. If they did a 30 pip move from that 50% mark, it's going to come right back down toward the bottom. So they may actually be safe if they actually put, a buy limit in here. Put a 30 pip stop loss. That's if it doesn't move past here, right? But I'm thinking it might. I'm thinking what's going to happen is that it probably is going to move past here, and it'll probably go to at least the first extension. And even then, here, what you could have is you could have sell stops, right? So it could trigger those sell stop orders. Right, and then if we draw this path again, it could trigger those sell stops, come back up, take them out, right, and then come right back down, and then maybe to the second extension, and then maybe even hopefully let's even get it down to the pivot at the one level, somewhere around the 1.600 level. That's where I'm hoping it gets to by tomorrow-ish, at least by the end of the day tomorrow. That is hopefully my prediction as to what's going to happen. That's why I'm in the position that I am in right now. The other scenario that could possibly happen is the one that goes against me, unfortunately. And the reason I think it could go against me is because of what we saw earlier. You see how we have the order block here, right? The order block here, that last up candle, right, before it drops down. That's basically an order block to where the institutions are putting in all their orders, probably even putting all their shorts up in here, right? And they put all their shorts up in here, and then they do a quick move up, make everybody think they're going to move up, and then they just slam it down the other way, right? So that's why I don't think it could possibly get above this area here. However, if it does, let me remove this because I don't think it's going to get to that area. Now that I've been studying a little bit more, it could get possibly, let me actually go to a 4-hour chart here. It could do the same thing, but over here, right? So we could see this be the new order block because it hasn't returned to this yet. So this is what's kind of scaring me. What the thing is that we have had this move up, right? So this could have been the start of the order block. But then again, we did see a buildup of orders here before it dropped back down. I don't know. I think EURUSD is going to play some games with us, to be honest. I think we're going to see probably a mixture of both of these things, right? So what I think we could see is, let's see here. Let's just go ahead. The last one down before we got this big push down would have been this candle here. I mean, it could have been both candles, who knows, but I'm just going to say it's this candle here. Actually, I think this was the one I had drawn earlier. So what we could see is that I mean, it doesn't make sense for these orders to be building up to take off to get to this same order block level, right? Just to come back down. To me, for some reason, that doesn't make sense, because they've already been adding their shorts in here. I mean, they do have deep pockets. They could go a little bit above that, and put a little bit of risk in, but I really don't see why they would. Or, like I said, it could be a mixture of both. It could be what they could be doing is that they could actually be coming back up. Here, let's do a little path thing here again, like we did earlier. They could be coming back up in here, right? And then selling back off. And then this could potentially be another order block right here, right? Since it is another up move before a down move in a 4-hour candle. It could be potentially this 0.27, because here we do have, over here we do have some more, but then again, it was moving upwards. It wasn't like it was going against the grain, so I don't see why this would be considered an order block, but it could. Who knows? This down move before it goes back up, it could touch this, right? So we could actually see this part come true, and as this part comes true, we could see it, take its time, build up some long orders, and then all of a sudden go long and get back up into this order block area. And then once it touches this order block area, and come right back down again, and then continue going down. So I guess what I'm saying is that both can be true at the same time. I'm just hoping that it actually does come up and then come down first, rather than blowing through this this area where these orders have been collected, just to get to this point and then come back down, because then that's going to take me out of my game, and I will not be happy, that's for sure. So I'm having faith in the first process of the order blocks that are sitting right in here. Like I said, if we get down to the 1 minute, even if we get down to the 15-minute, what you see is these candles, these 15-minute candles slowly come up, right? I think this is when we got that weird news at the end of the day yesterday. I don't even know what the news is about. The news said something about that the dollar was weakening, which was weird, because all of a sudden the dollar got stronger. The reports where the dollar were weakening is what I read. And, let me see if we still have it pulled up over here. And sold. This is 3 hours ago. Here's the guy in the same range. Dollar dips is price for Biden victory. Trump tout some stimulus. No, Studies angst over. This wasn't it. Let's see. No. Dollar stays as angst. Asian stocks hit. Dollar stands tall as U.S. stimulus delay hits sentiment. Maybe that was it. 22 hours ago. No, that would have been like 11 o'clock last night. Forex dollar hold ground. U.S. stimulus. You know what? Maybe I was reading it wrong. Dollar holds gains as USD economic doubts grow. I think that's you know what? I think that's what I read, and I was thinking that the dollar was taking a fall. US stocks take a fall. Yeah, that was the day before when Trump, or last week I think, when Trump got. I'm not for sure. Either way, we got that news. I guess like the dollar got a lot stronger, so that's when it took a huge dive. I think the foresight of smart money saw that coming, so they were definitely putting in a lot of their orders, their short orders, making it come up, trying to get people to buy, enticing them to buy, and then all of a sudden taking it short. Now we're back into that area. Right, we're back into that area there. At least it came back up into that area. But the thing is generally whenever you come back up into like a fib area like this, well, yeah, I guess you can. Sometimes they will stay there for days, you know, building orders and building orders. But then once they do that is when they'll take off. So who knows? We could stay in this range for a very long time before it finally takes off. But you know, let me just say, anything I say to you is not financial advice. Please do not think of me as financial advisor. Anything you do, please do with paper trading. Do not risk your own money. And you know, unless you see it as fit for you to do so, I am not telling you or advising you to do anything like that. I am simply just analyzing the market as how I see it. But that's what I think is happening, is that I think we have this order block here, and that the shorts are being built, and shorts, I don't know if they're being built now, but I think right now is an attempt to get people to think it's at a low point, so that way they will start buying, you know, going into the London Open, but the thing is that there's really been, well, today was a slow day, as you can see. You know, this was London right here. This was all day today. There's no break in market structure. It didn't break any lows. It didn't break any highs. It just didn't do anything today. So I'm hoping what happened is that since it didn't break a high, it was because it traded back up into this bearish order block. It's building more lows, and then it's going to come out going lower. So that's what I have for you for now, and that's my anticipation of the market. You know, let's go back to the charts, because one thing I do want to take a look at, I want to take a more look at gold. I just haven't taken a look at gold for a while. I want to start looking at gold a little bit more. I keep having the same thing show up in my markets, and I have declared that I do not longer believe in trend lines, because anybody can put 2 points together and call it a trend, and it doesn't make any sense. So I just believe in price levels. So I still have the same fib that I have for the very long time, and that was when we stopped going sideways and we started moving upwards. This was back in June, all the way to the very top, and then started retracing back. And it looks like, you know, and if my case is, you know, what it is for the euro, which means the dollar is going to get stronger, or just the euro is going to get weaker, you know, I think the pound's going to get stronger, and I think the pound's going to go up. But I don't think the euro is going to go up. I think the euro is going to go down. And the thing with the metals though is that with the commitment of traders report, they've been short on this thing. I can go back forever, and the commitment of traders report shows that it's just been short. But if you go to the British pound, it's a little bit different. They went from longs here, right, which would make sense. They're longing all this, and then here they switched to shorts, right? So they were longing all this, they made all that money, boom, they switched to shorts. Why did they switch to shorts? Because they knew here, they knew it would eventually get lower, right? So once they switched to shorts, they probably switched to shorts, or at least this week, right? This is the week. So they give out a weekly report of what their net shorts are. So their net shorts probably came at the peak of these, and so for them to make a profit, they would have to get below that level. So if we want to do something similar like I did with the euro, do something like this, right? But the difference here is that, well, I guess you can kind of see the same thing kind of play out, but just not as much. It seems like it took a much bigger dive. Remember a couple of weeks ago when the pound took a beating. That's the reason why, is because they had all those shorts built up throughout this long way. Well, how are they going to profit off those shorts? Well, how they're going to profit off those shorts by actually getting below that point. So they knew it was going to get below that point, and that's why they started shorting way back here. So they started shorting. They had deep enough pockets to where all this was short. Boom, they start making their money. Right here is when they start lessening their shorts, or at least this week is when they start lessening their shorts. So I'm going to say right here is when they start building up longs, right? Build up longs, right? You make some money off of it. It comes back down. You build up longs, right? And then all of a sudden you're net long. So because they built up longs here, and if you want to do another fib thingy to where they start building up their longs, or actually where they have probably their lowest of their longs, which would probably be right around in here, to now they're at the highest of the longs, or they're actually just more net long, I should say, this week. This is why I think the British pound will continue going long, is because they are net long. So, and that's one of the reasons I drew this in here, was because if you follow me on TradingView, I called this last Monday. Whenever it moved up, I said it's going to make a retracement. That's going to make it eventually go long. Like I said, I didn't expect it to bounce so many times off of here. But because it kept coming back down, into that institutional level, into those order blocks, right? Coming back up out, coming back down into the institutional level order block, came back up, came back down, institutional level order block. And it just, it's a roller coaster. So this one's just going to continue going long. And that's why I believe that we're going to see more and more long coming out of the British pound versus than what we are out of the euro. We're going to see more shorts. But back to what I was talking about at hand, which was the metals. Again, if the dollar weakens, let's just take a look at the dollar and see what's going on with it. Who knows? It's been going kind of up and down. It had its bullish move run a couple weeks ago. It's been coming back down. Looks like it's a little bit less, a little bit more, a little bit more bearish. If it's a little bit more bearish, then like I said, bearish, then the pound's going to go up. I just think the euro is going to go down. Well, the euro is definitely going to go down. It's just dependent on when. So I think maybe we should see some bearish action out of the out of the gold. Now, question is that where are we going to see the next bearish move come out of? I think it probably needs to come down a little bit further and then have to retrace back up into some kind of, maybe even as high as here, but some kind of bearish order block. But I'm not seeing anything that's, you know, making it fake go one way and go the other. It could be this right here, actually, if we take a look at it. You see how it comes down and there's this green candle right here. That could be the fake out candle. That could be the candle that we could be trading back into. So it could be going short, comes back up, hits this candle, right? And if we're going to be going short, it probably come back down to resistance. So if we're going to do a fib and we say we're going to come back down to resistance and it comes back up to this candle, voila, we are at the 70.5% sweet spot of the Fibonacci, and then it sells off for more. So that's what I expect to see. I would think overnight we'll probably see a sell-off of and hopefully a sell-off of EURUSD, and probably sell-off of gold too. Retracement, and then New York Open hopefully hit this. So here we go. If we want to draw it, come down to here, we're probably going to hit support, come back up, hit that 75%, and then boom, go back down again. So I haven't really talked, like I said, I haven't really talked about metals that much, or much of anything other than the euro. But if I had my druthers, those would be my druthers. Anyways, that was a quick update video. Usually don't do one in the middle of the week, but hey, it's Wednesday, I thought I'd do one. Thanks a lot for watching and listening to me rant. I want to throw everything out there that I have learned so far from the Inner Circle Trader. If you don't know who that is, check him out on YouTube. He has definitely been an inspiration to me to continue learning. He has a whole library of videos and helping me understand how the markets work and what to expect, and how the institutions basically have a hold of the game, and you know, how not to follow the herd, and you know, think for yourself, and how not to be a retail trader, basically, and how to trade, how the banks trade, because the banks are the one moving the money, we're not, you know. So so if you do like my stuff and you do like to hear me ramble and rant anymore, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the alerts, notification bells, like the video, share the video with your people that you do, you know, trading with, things like that. If there's anything that I can help with, leave a comment in the comment section. You know, I definitely try to help out with more, doing different pairs, things like that. I definitely want to check out the US CAD more. But primarily my focus has been on the EURUSD and GBPUSD, just because I want to hone in on something that's, you know, that way I know it, you know, like the back of my hand. And those two I'm getting to know very well, especially the EURUSD. But then, you know, I want to be able to trade gold too, and that way I can just, you know, get a good 30-40 pip move, you know, really quick, versus waiting all day all night to get a 30-40 pip move out of, you know, the EURUSD. But studying both, you know, has its, you know, pros and cons. So anyways, that's all I got. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening, and hopefully I shall see you all soon. And as always, keep your pants on.